My ass was about to say Batman again. So we about to have to say I am Brandon, I am Ali, and I am Ali. I'm Alan and I am Tony. And together we are Batman Boxing Talk. Alright. But of course, 1 week away.
Next week.
1 week away. 1 week from today.
You know,
we're gonna be getting ready.
Last week we gave Caleb Plant no respect.
I'm still not. But go ahead.
Anything is possible. Buster Douglas beat Mike Tyson.
But Canelo trained. We know that.
I asked myself.
Canelo ain't catching.
Yeah.
He ain't catching pigeons, bro.
I asked myself what weaknesses does Canelo have that Caleb Plant could possibly exploit, and
a lot.
I think about the Lara fight, speed. I think about the Triple G fight, a stiff jab. But the thing about Triple G and Lara, they had proven themselves before the Canelo fight. Caleb Plant, I mean, I look at his record, and it's just the only fighter on there you recognize is I can't even Uzcategui and
Truax maybe.
Well, and Truax, but everybody on the record, no undefeated fighters. But I'll say this: in Caleb Plant, one thing he does has is he's never lost. He doesn't know what it's like to lose.
Could be a gift and a curse.
It can be a gift. Canelo has lost. And then
he knows what it's like to lose.
He knows what it's like to lose.
A gift. And that's a gift. To know that I never, like Shakur said, after losing in the Olympics, I never want to feel that shit again.
But also, well, I said Lara, but also Lara, I think I said hand speed. Lara's speed gave Canelo problems. Mm-hmm. If Caleb Plant, he has the height, he has the reach, can keep Canelo on the end of a jab. Because another fight Canelo was getting outboxed was Kovalev. And Kovalev was sticking that jab out there, not putting much on it, but it was enough to keep Canelo off of him for, what he knocked him out in the 9th round?
No,
11th. Although they had Kovalev losing that fight, I thought he was doing well just with the jab.
He didn't want Canelo to get to that body.
And that's where we differ with the outboxing. So, like, you think he was outboxing because he was landing, but you can look at it multiple ways. But
yeah, I know you. Yeah, I know your point. But can Caleb Plant win the fight? Never say never. But like I said, he's stepping up. The step up in competition. He's never faced anybody with the skill set of Canelo Alvarez, and that's where the matchmaking gets you in trouble. I'll be rooting for Caleb Plant next Saturday.
I bet you will.
But I just don't see how he beats him. Because even though I said those weaknesses, those are weaknesses. The Lara fight has more than, 8 years ago. Triple G.
Floyd almost 10 years ago.
Floyd 10 years ago. And
Triple G over 5 years ago.
Yeah, so
15, right?
The one thing I do know about Canelo Alvarez is whatever weaknesses he does have, he works on them over time. And right now, he could be the best fighter in the world. And can Caleb Plant beat him? Possibly. But it's going to take skill and will. He's going to have to keep Canelo at the end of the jab. And he's going to have to gut him out in some points. Because there's going to be a time when that foot pressure Canelo's going to come with. He's going to have to stand there and bang. And the question is, can he do that? We will see.
Hold that thought. Tony, what you got?
I was also one that didn't give Caleb Plant a lot of respect last episode, and I'm gonna change that now. Anybody that gets into the ring, I give much respect.
Y'all sound like some suckers.
No, I'm just saying this.
All right.
I'm saying because after I watched and all the stuff that boy's been through.
Oh, he working.
Yeah. I'm giving him all the respect in the world. You can say it sound like a sucker, or whatever. Fuck you. but I'm saying, I see a lot of the things that you see, Alan. I think it's going to be interesting early, but I just think it's too steep. Like I said, at some point, I mean, he's going to take away what you got. He's used to fighting people taller than you, with longer reach than you.
It's nothing
I mean,
new.
yeah, exactly. It's nothing new. Canelo is one of the best at slipping jabs. You know what I'm saying? I watched him fight Austin Trout. Right, that's before the Floyd fight. Man, I mean, even back then he was.
And that's why when people say, "Oh, he learned from the Floyd fight," he learned.
Yeah.
But it's not like he already was doing a lot of the stuff that he's doing now. He's just gotten better at it. But
when you watch that Floyd fight, you see him doing stuff that you didn't see at first. Like if you go back and watch it, you see him doing stuff. You be like, oh. You just realize how damn good Floyd was at 36 years old. Man. That's what you realize, because anybody else in there was getting caught with a lot of shit. And I also saw the growth because a lot of, when he was with Austin Trout, trying to catch Austin Trout with a lot of looping shit. I just think that like Caleb Plant is in over his head.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm gonna play interview. I got a few questions for y'all. What do you think Canelo's weakness is? Whoever want to answer it.
Okay, well, I think, like I said, one of his weaknesses. I mean, I haven't seen. Well, actually, no. I'm gonna say one of his weaknesses were, movement. I'm not gonna say a jab, because Triple G had one of the best timings on his jab. Period. And I don't care how good you are at slipping a jab. When somebody got timing like that, they're gonna hit you with a jab.
A couple of them.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't know, man. I mean, I think he's gotten better at cutting off the ring. You know what I'm saying? He don't just follow you around. So, like with the movement and stuff, like I said, I don't see
it's
anything.
Hard to figure out what it is.
It's hard. It is really hard to figure out because I see him the way he slip, and like I said, he goes to the body early. And that's why I'm surprised, Alan, that you would go for somebody, because you love body punches.
Yeah, I do.
And that's all. Look, he would forsake the head just to wear you down.
And that's the trap.
Yep,
What do you think his weakness is?
In the last few years, I mean, the Kovalev fight, when he could get to the body, he did. Billy Joe Saunders, I mean, just cutting the ring off, wearing him down, and when the time came to catch him, or when that opportunity came to take him out, he took both of them out. Only weakness I could possibly see in this fight, maybe overconfidence.
I think that's probably the last of the weaknesses that we get to worry about. Can I go?
Go ahead.
I think Canelo's weakness is still movement. But the difference now versus when he fought Lara and should I say when he fought Floyd, you can see the difference when he fought Lara. Like, people like to point those two fights out, but they don't notice the adjustment that was made from Floyd's movement to the adjustment that he made with Lara, cutting that back door off with those left hooks to the body, which slowed Lara down.
I want to say something before you finish that, though. I ain't going to cut you, but listen. Those are two separate fights. When you look at Floyd wasn't moving as much as Lara.
Right.
That's number one. People, they take that mentality like Floyd ran that fight. No, he did not.
See, people confuse Floyd's angles.
Exactly.
And because he wasn't constantly in the same place, or he wasn't Riddick Bowe Holyfield, they look at it as moving.
Yep.
But Lara actually
moved. Exactly. He used his legs, and like you said, and using that Cuban boxing style, trying to outpoint you. And go ahead with what you were saying, how he shut it down.
The thing with Lara is Lara only has a jab and a straight left. That's it. He's going to throw those punches 12 rounds every round. I think Canelo at that stage had issues figuring that out. What makes Canelo look like he doesn't have any weaknesses is the fact that he knows how to cover up the weaknesses.
Yeah.
So even though the slow feet and the fast movement is still a weakness, he knows that if I can get myself to the body and I can get to the later rounds, those feet will slow down. Mm-hmm. And then there is no more weakness because now I've taken it away from you. Mm. He knows that if I allow you to escape left multiple times, I'm going to set something up so that I want you to escape left, and then I can set that trap and get you with what I need to get you with. So mentally, he's playing chess with you and with himself. Mm-hmm. His other weakness was his stamina.
That's not weakness.
Yes, it is. You want me to tell you the difference?
What?
The difference is, instead of being a backwards counterpuncher, he's now a forward walking counterpuncher where he can control how much energy he's using versus you walking him down and you dictating how much energy he's using. Once again, he's found a way to cover up that weakness. You see what I'm saying? So if I can say, shit, I got this drink, but I need to make this drink last all day long. Mm-hmm. I know that by 1 o'clock I need to be done drunk this much. He knows how much energy to use to get himself to that end point now. But if somebody can force him backwards and make him do what Triple G made him do, which is use more energy than he wanted to use, they can beat Canelo. Right. But the thing is, he's figured out ways to hide those weaknesses.
So you're saying Plant needs to try to figure out how to dictate the
He's going to have to. He's going to have to. Because he's not going to be able to walk backward and win the fight. First of all, you're not going to be able to walk forward and win backward and win the fight because, like y'all like to say, Canelo's style is judge friendly. Mm-hmm. It's a judge friendly style. Yeah. So if you
that's the other thing,
right? Because if
starting out with 2 rounds down,
people say that, but Canelo has changed how he fought. I get the Floyd shit, and like I said, even though people talk about the Adelaide Bird card, that fight could still have been a draw. So regardless of whether she had it 7 rounds to 5 or 10 rounds to 2, it still was going to be a draw.
It's on the Floyd.
The Triple G versus Canelo won, where she had it like 10 rounds to 2. Yeah. But even if she'd had Canelo winning 7 rounds to 5, it wouldn't have changed the outcome of the decision. It still would have been a draw.
I got upset. I mean, when he fought Danny Jacobs, I thought Danny Jacobs wasn't aggressive enough to even win a decision. Canelo's the money. I mean, he's the money, so you're going to have to beat him. It can't be a close fight.
And his chin is definitely not a weakness.
No, it's not.
His hand speed is definitely not a weakness. His fucking his waist movement is not a weakness. His IQ is not a weakness. Those weaknesses are still there. And this is coming from a Canelo fan. Those weaknesses are still there. He's just found ways not to have to expose them. He's found ways to cover them up.
Okay, let me ask you this then. Caleb Plant, does he have the skill set to
It's not about the skill set, it's about the heart. He got to have the heart and mental fortitude to say, I'm going to walk this motherfucker back and I'm not backing up. You know, like, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that's easy. Just like Jamil Herring. I know what I have to do.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you got to be able to, like, it's one thing to say, oh, I know I need to do this. It's another thing to have the mind and the heart to say, fuck it.
I think, I think that when it comes to that, when it comes to Caleb having to be that dog, he's going to be that dog.
I agree.
I just don't think that it's going to be enough.
And that's true. And that's true.
But I think he's going to be that dog. Though.
Maybe Caleb, and I don't think Caleb is the guy because Caleb has a stamina issue. So Caleb is also one of those guys who has to pick and choose punches to last.
Yeah. Well,
and if Canelo's foot pressure can force Caleb to fight when he don't want to fight, that's going to be bad for Caleb.
Well, one of the things he's done about that, though, I mean, and like you say, you see that as a weakness for Caleb Plant. Well, he's working with the dude that works with Sean Porter, and we know Sean Porter, one of the best.
Yeah, but just because you're
okay.
Ryan
Garcia, it's
something that
they worked on. That's what I'm saying.
He's been with. This ain't his first fight with Larry Wade. He's been with Larry Wade for a long time.
One of the things, but
and he was with Snack before that.
They need to get Blu-ray in that one.
I don't even think that's the issue. Some people just don't have it. It's just like Mikey Garcia. Don't give a fuck who you put him in the gym with. He not gonna be a ripped up nigga. Mikey Garcia is gonna look like a cab driver regardless of who you put him in the gym with. That's just his makeup.
Yeah, that's true. But the thing is, look, I'm gonna push back just a little bit because I'm not gonna go to war with knowledge with a Canelo fan.
No, not 100%.
No, but I'm just saying I'm gonna push back a little bit. I think when, like I said, watching that Austin Trout fight and watching some earlier fights of Canelo, the reason why I think that Canelo had those stamina problems. Now, you made a good point with Triple G, putting that pressure on him or whatever, but Canelo threw, like you said, when he gets somebody up against rope, threw a lot of combinations, a lot of fast punches. Now he's placing.
That's what I'm saying. He's found a way.
Yeah, I don't think, like I said, that's why I don't think it's a stamina issue anymore, because I think that he finds a way to place his shots, even when he's moving backwards. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he got a little tired in towards the end of that Trout fight. You know what I'm saying? But he was still slipping and catching Trout with uppercuts.
He didn't get tired in the Floyd fight. You know why?
Yeah.
Because Floyd didn't make him fight when he really didn't want to fight. Floyd just took and made Canelo make mistakes, and he took what Canelo gave him to win the fight. Triple G in that first fight made Canelo move when he didn't want to move. Yeah. He made Canelo do stuff that Canelo didn't want to do.
I really think that Canelo's plan was to move on him.
But it was his plan because it's like, this motherfucker done knocked out 200 niggas.
Absolutely. I understand why. I'm not saying that, he got, I think that his plan was like, I got to get this motherfucker some movement. Because nobody really knew. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude is knocking everybody out. Yeah. How hard does he hit? But like you said, when Canelo had been in there with him, and he got
tell you why
and he shook his head like this.
Canelo seen Kell Brook go in there and give Triple G the business. He seen Danny Jacobs, who I thought I thought Danny Jacobs beat Triple G.
Yeah, but he saw him get dropped early.
Yeah, but man, I just think him knowing how to cover up those issues is why it seems like he don't have those issues. It's like if a motherfucker don't shoot threes, you can't really say it's a weakness. You see what I'm saying? DeMar DeRozan don't shoot threes, but we don't say, oh, he can't shoot. We just don't look at it as a weakness because he's not out there shooting and missing. But if somebody puts Canelo in a position where, nigga, I'm sending these motherfuckers back with you, and he's pressing that issue, and Canelo feel like, oh shit, this ain't a motherfucker I want to get hit by too many times. Yeah. Then it'll force him to do shit that he don't want to do. But as long as he's in his comfort zone, he's walking forward, and he's picking and choosing, like you said, placing those shots, it's gonna be hard to beat that motherfucker.
And he's hitting on all cylinders right now. I think he's at his apex right now.
Yeah, he's like you said, this is the absolute prime.
And this is, like I said, and it's a difference. Where, I mean, we grew up on this, and a lot of people that's probably younger probably don't know that it's a difference between fight sharp and gym sharp. Yeah. He is fight sharp. Yeah. He's been in there fighting. He's fight sharp. Yeah. See, we, like you said, with other fighters, sometimes if a fighter fight two, like goddamn 3 months after he fought before and he lose, they be like, well, he didn't really. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have enough, time to recover, and he fought too soon. No, Canelo is fight sharp. He's been in the ring.
4 fights in a year, right?
Yeah, 4 fights this year.
This year, he had 5 within a year's time.
Yeah, within a year's time.
But I think Canelo, like I said, I just think his advantage is, like, there's nothing Caleb can do that he hasn't seen. And that's my issue with Caleb Plant. The height is not a problem. He's fought taller guys than Caleb Plant. The speed is not a problem. Plant is not faster than Lara. Plant is not quicker than Mayweather. He's not like the jab is not a problem. He's seen Triple G. Like there's just nothing footwork. He's been in there with Lara. He's been in there with Floyd. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't see anything that, and I'm not being disrespectful because don't get me, and it may sound like I hate Caleb, but Caleb one of my favorite fighters. Y'all know I thought a year ago, 2 years ago that Caleb was his toughest fight because of the movement. Exactly. But Canelo has grown so much since then that now I think it's not. But I just don't see anything that Caleb he don't have power like Triple G. You know what I'm saying? Danny Jacobs was the same height. Danny Jacobs had a good jab. Danny Jacobs was an athletic fighter. I don't see what Caleb. Caleb don't have excruciating power. You know,
No,
like
that's part two.
he said, "Oh, if Miguel Cotto's brother can make you do the stanky leg soaking, I know you can't." That nigga was 13 when he fought Miguel Cotto brother. Nigga, full-fledged god now. But I mean, I guess we can wait to give predictions because we gonna have another show before the fight, right?
Well, I mean, like I said.
I mean, is it going to change? We can give prediction now. I don't think this is going to change.
Okay.
I mean, the only chance I give him is, like I said, I keep coming back to Douglas and Tyson, and
Is that overconfidence?
well, not overconfidence. I mean, Mike Tyson.
I
said
before,
that, but
before you say that, I just want you to know, because you didn't watch the first episode. You said you watched the second episode
No, I
of
watched
All
both of
Access.
them.
Oh, you watched both?
Yeah.
Oh, so did you see any pitching catching in that episode?
Yeah. Did you see?
I'm just saying, because you talk about you going back to Douglas Tyson when Tyson was over in Tokyo catching pigeons and shit when he should have been training.
Tyson
Yeah.
came out and said he
I
was.
agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
okay. It's a difference.
But what drove Douglas had skills, but I think what won him that fight was his loss
Of his mother.
of
I
his
think
mother.
it was everything.
Yeah, I mean,
think
it
he
was
had
like
the
the
skills.
combination
was
of
a
everything.
perfect- yeah, it was a
So
perfect
it was
storm.
like the perfect storm. Well, I think Caleb Plant does take his daughter, that tragedy, in the ring with him every time he fights.
Yeah, but it ain't just happened. You see, with
No,
Douglas,
but he's saying every time.
Every
it happens.
time he
But
gets in the
but,
ring,
But you're right though. It was fresh with Buster Douglas.
Yeah.
and the difference with Buster Douglas is he had that motivation, the passing of his mom. He already was a skillful fighter. He just
You
did
always
dumb
did.
shit in the fights that he
Well,
could have won.
He quit.
And the difference is this too.
When you have Tyson Customato, no nothing, no money, no nothing. Skills pays the bills, hard, hit hard, fast as fuck. And then you have the decline of Tyson, and then you have
Yeah, he was
the
actually-
Buster Douglas, lost his mama, training his ass off. It evens out the scale.
It did.
And the fact that Caleb did say that he was going to win a title, you know, he
At
promised
that
his
time
daughter,
for his
and he
daughter.
won that title.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, but the difference is the opponent
The
wasn't
opponent.
Canelo Alvarez.
Exactly.
It was
No,
Jose,
I'm saying-
it was Cotton.
no, I'm
You
saying
got
that
you
he-
fight,
he-
but he's fighting a
yeah.
focused fighter. I mean,
Yeah, he is.
Mike Tyson was not focused.
Yeah.
But he
Yeah.
feels though he has something to prove again, and I think
Me
that
against the
he's gonna-
world.
Yeah,
But the
Anytime
thing
you have me
is-
against the world,
The thing is,
that works.
I would have given him a better chance if he didn't poke the bear. Because now Canelo also feels like he has something to prove. So
But
maybe if he'd have just came in with that mindset, like you didn't see Buster Douglas fucking with Tyson. He came in, he did what the fuck he had to do, and he stuck to it, and he got in there and he did it. He didn't poke the bear beforehand to make Tyson be like, you know what? I'm gonna have to fuck this motherfucker up. Let me go train.
But you know what? That did take Canelo out of his character.
Yeah, you said
I
that.
mean,
and
that's what you say,
yeah.
but I done seen Canelo push Triple G. I done seen Canelo push Danny Jacobs. I done seen Canelo tell Danny Jacobs fuck his mama. So it ain't no more out of character than I done already seen. We just looking at because Caleb said something and he got an arouse out of Canelo. But I've seen Canelo dog up at the weigh-in, pushing, all that shit. This is nothing new.
Nah, only time I saw Canelo like this, like maybe the second Triple G fight when it was like personal.
I'll give you another
Mexican style.
Laura got up there talking that shit. This is nothing new. We just so used to. Now the difference is Canelo would speak fucking Spanish, so we had to wait for a translator. We didn't fucking give a shit. Now he talking English. He talking cash shit. English Canelo is reckless.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Fuck outta here.
I think he got under his skin.
I mean, he probably did, but
think he
so.
got
But what I'm
understood.
saying is, I think so did Triple G. So did Danny Jacobs.
Now,
But
I don't think to this extent.
The only difference is because it happened in a press conference, so now we have so much time in between to talk about that shit. Those happen at the weigh-in, but it's happened before. It's no different. And when you see Canelo in that fucking room, he gonna be calm and collect just like he is every other fight. He gonna come out, and like you said, Caleb Plant gonna have those rounds in the beginning where he looks sharp, he look cute, and then he's gonna get hit with something and he's gonna get cut, and then we're gonna see him get tired,
Yeah,
and then it's gonna get bad. And then my man gonna be walking around like this. And don't let him get to the point where he hyping up the crowd and whooping ass. I'm just saying. This has been an episode of Batman Boxing Talk.
Well, I tell you this.
We out.
This is-